We gotta keep that same energy. We gotta keep that same energy. We got a lot of topics to get into, and I got a lot to say, man. There's a lot going on in the boxing world, and I felt like I just had to go live. I just had to speak on a lot of things. And one thing we got to speak on is Demetrius Andre being a virgin. He's literally about to get his cherry popped against David Benavidez. These two guys are going to go head to head. The fight's official. And here's what's funny. All of these Demetrius Andre fans saying he's the best fighter I've ever seen. He's the best fighter in the world. Can't nobody ever beat Demetrius Andre. These guys are all quiet now. They keep talking about Canelo. What does Demetrius Andre versus David Benavidez have to do with Canelo? These guys expose themselves. Demetrius Andre, he's 35 years old, been boxing for over 15 years. If you do not win this fight, what does that make you? A hype job. Because the first time you ever stepped up, you get your ass whooped. He better win this fight. Demetrius Andre has to win this fight because he will be labeled a hype job. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They said this man could outbox everybody. They said he's elite, and he ain't fought one champion in 15 years. I don't want to hear it. And don't get me started on Jamal Charlo. He's a damn snitch. That man's a damn snitch. Sitting up here talking about, oh, Caleb Plant slapped me. I'm going to go to the authorities. You's a straight snitch. No wonder you ducked Canelo twice. This is the guy they said Canelo was running from. 2019, Charlo turned the fight down. 2023, Charlo turned the fight down. He wasn't ready. Come on, let's keep the same energy. If anybody else did this, they'd be labeled a duck and a coward, and you want to go tell the police that Caleb Plant slapped you in your mouth while you stood there and didn't do nothing? You's a straight up coochie. I don't ever want to hear it again. I don't ever want to hear about these guys are the boogeyman. Demetrius Andre, Jamal Charlo. These guys are killers. These guys are who everybody's running from. Demetrius Andre's a virgin and Jamal Charlo's a snitch. Don't ever tell me these guys are boogeymans of anything. Stop it. Demetrius Andre, you better beat David Benavidez. You better beat Benavidez. And he's still, even fighting Benavidez, he's still not a world champion. And Jamal Charlo, you better fight Caleb Plant or you's a straight up coochie. Not only did you try to snitch on a man, but you better not fight no Selecki. You better fight Caleb Plant, the man that slapped the black off of your ass. You better fight him because if any man put his hands on me, we got to get that fade. We got to get that fade. He got to come see me. Can't no man slap me and just walk away. So Jamal Charlo, listen and listen very clearly. The man that slapped the block off of your ass, you need to go fight him, and that's Caleb Plant. Step up, find your nuts, and fight the man that slapped the block off of your ass. Now, Demetrius Andre, you bet not lose. You bet. Demetrius Andre's a killer. He can outbox everybody. You bet not go in there and get laid out. If Demetrius Andre gets laid out, I'm going to laugh. You better do it. You better go in there and put on a boxing clinic. You have half of these YouTube boxing channels. And I just want to make something very clear. If Demetrius Andre wins, I'd give him his roses. I would say, good job, Andrade. You proved me wrong. I never thought you were this good. So if he beats Benavidez, I will give him his roses. I'm not a hater. I will always give credit where credit is due. But if you lose at 35, you lose your first step-up fight at 35, I'm not only going to laugh. I'm going to destroy all of these fanboy-ass channels. And if you're listening, you know who you are. You know if you're a Demetrius Andre rider, I'm going to go in the night of the fight. Keep the same energy. Talking about this guy is the beast. He's the best. Everybody's running for. We're about to find out what the virgin can do. The 35-year-old virgin, we're about to find out what the virgin can do. Let's figure that out. Because I'm telling you, David Benavidez is going to apply pressure. It's going to be very interesting. I want to see what all these racist channels say about that. Is Demetrius Andre going to get exposed, or is he going to step up to the challenge? We're about to find out. And don't nobody ever come to me about Floyd Mayweather. This hating. See, Floyd Mayweather is a racist. Floyd Mayweather is a hater. Floyd Mayweather can't give anybody any credit, talking all that trash about Inouye. Now, here's the funny thing. Terrence Crawford said he'd stay at 147 to fight Tank Davis. So if Terrence Crawford said, I'll stay at 147 to fight Tank Davis, I don't want to hear nothing. All you Tank fanboys, keep the same energy. We want to see Tank versus Bud at 147. Let's make that fight happen. These guys always spread narratives, but they don't want to talk about that. Tank said he'd knock out Terrence Crawford. So Terrence Crawford said 147, let's get it in. So let's see the fight, because I guarantee you, I would put any amount of money on the line. Terrence Crawford is going to put Tank Davis' little, fat, plump ass to sleep. And I'm going to do nothing but laugh. I'm going to do nothing but laugh. Now, don't get me started on the Canelo Alvarez disrespect. You know, I hear people out here saying, Demetrius Andrade fighting the guys that Canelo didn't want to fight. Wait a minute. Canelo has always been open to a David Benavidez fight. David Benavidez said Canelo wasn't ducking. So now the new narrative is Andrade's doing what Canelo was afraid to. How about this? And this ain't a narrative. It's just fact. Demetrius Andrade ducked Jermell Charlo. Make no excuses. We know Canelo Alvarez is cleaning up after Demetrius Andrade. We got to be honest and unbiased. You got too many fanboys sitting up here lying and spreading lies like they spread their cheeks. We're going to keep the same energy. And I want to see Tank's little fat ass versus Bud Crawford. I've been seeing a lot of people on social media saying, oh, Bud versus Canelo at 158. Ain't no way in hell Canelo is ever going to fight anybody at 158. Understand this about Canelo versus Bud. That fight doesn't make sense. It's too much weight apart. But if you wanted to try to make the fight, let me explain something to you and explain it clearly. Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow of boxing. He's the face of boxing. Canelo Alvarez is the biggest name and brand in boxing. He's carrying the sport. So before you mention this man's name, understand he's the A side. Canelo Alvarez is not Errol Spence. He don't fight like Errol Spence. He is not the same seller as Errol Spence. Canelo Alvarez is levels above these guys. So let's just keep that on the same thing. Bud Crawford would have to come to 168 to see Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's not going to go to 158 to see Bud Crawford. Canelo's the A side. So Bud would have to do what Canelo says. Canelo is the boss, not Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford's not going to 168. The fight ain't happening. That's just the end of the story. These guys are always running with narratives and feelings. The same guy, they said he would knock out Terrence Bud Crawford. Let's see it. And look, and we got a lot to discuss. We got Valdez. We got Navarrete versus Valdez. That's a great fight. And I'm ready to see it. But I got to get back to Charlo for 1 second. Hold on, let me get to Andrade first. Salute to my brother, Tony Cuevas. I'm going to tell you this. You're a 35-year-old prospect, been fighting for 15 plus years, never beat a world champion, and all of these people have confidence like this man is the best boxer that ever lived. Think about it, Demetrius Andrade called Dimitri Bivol a basic fighter. So Dimitri Bivol's a basic fighter to Demetrius Andrade, but Demetrius Andrade couldn't gather his nuts to fight him. So how is he basic, but you won't fight him? You're a 35-year-old prospect, they never beat a world champion. Shut your dumb ass up. That's all you got to do. And then when it comes to Jermall Charlo, you a snitch, you a coward, a man that put hands and feet on your sorry ass. This man and Caleb Plant then slapped the black off of Jermall Charlo. You better fight Caleb Plant next. I don't want to hear anything else. You better do it. My brother Carlos Rios says Southpaw is riding both of these fighters up and down. Oh, my goodness. Southpaw is riding Floyd Mayweather with his racist, hating ass. Floyd Mayweather hates on Inouye. He hated on Manny. He hates on Canelo. Floyd is hating on anybody he can get his hands on that's not a black American fighter. Floyd has told you many, many times, I only support black American fighters. Floyd has said it in his Fight Hype interview. He said it many times over the years. I'm always going to put black American fighters first. This is what Floyd said. These are not my words. These are Floyd's words. So you understand everything he says is from a racist perspective. We got to be honest. Raider Reaper, Canelo finished a Eurobum tour, now on Afrobum tour. See, they like to change narratives. They say, oh, he's fighting this journeyman. Canelo's fighting an undisputed champion in Jermell Charlo, who's actually bigger than him. Who's bigger than him? I better see Canelo get the credit. And this is a guy they said Canelo was running from in Ducky. Now, when he gets in the ring, let's see what they say. 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 Oh, man. Gary. So I'm going to tell you this. If they believe that Demetrius Andrade is going, I'm going to just tell you this. If they believe Demetrius Andrade is going to outbox David Benavidez, understand this one thing clearly. The LDBC is the same community. When Deontay Wilder got his ass whooped by Tyson Fury, they said that Tyson Fury cheated. The LDBC is the same community who said Errol Spence was going to beat Crawford. And when Crawford beat Errol Spence, they said Crawford cheated. And when Inouye beat Fulton, they said Inouye cheated. If David Benavidez cooks Demetrius Andrade, they're going to say Benavidez cheated. They're going to say he cheated. This is their pattern. This is what they do. They're never going to be honest. They're never going to give him credit. They're going to say he cheated. They're going to make up some damn excuse. Raid says, I'm a big fan of Terrence Crawford after the Spence fight, but a fight against Canelo would be too risky for his record. This is what people don't understand. They think Canelo, so they think Canelo and Errol Spence is the same. They think Canelo and Errol Spence is the same. Canelo Alvarez is nothing like Errol Spence. Canelo is levels above Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a one-dimensional fighter who has no defense, who has no power, and who has a suspect chin when he fought a puncher. Canelo Alvarez has a great chin, elite power, an elite resume, and he not only does have power, but he also has skills. It would not be the same fight. Anybody dumb enough to believe that is smoking crack. Dre Mack said, Bud already said he won't fight Canelo. What are y'all smoking on? Today he did another interview and said he'd be open to a Canelo fight at 158. And Canelo is not fighting a B side at 158. Canelo is only fighting at whatever weight he decides to fight at. Canelo's the A side over everybody. Everybody. That's a fact. You don't have to like me. You don't have to respect me. But that is a fact. That's a fact. We're just going to keep it honest and unbiased. My brother Primetime 89 says, Jamal, I'm gonna press charges, Charlo. Think about this. Think about if some guy, and here's the problem with it. Jamal Charlo started the whole incident with Caleb Plant. Jamal Charlo walks up to Caleb Plant, grabs his beard. Caleb Plant says, don't put your hands on me no more. Jamal Charlo then calls him a pussy white boy. Now think about how disrespectful that is. That somebody throws in your race, somebody goes in there and touches your face, somebody's all over the top. And then when you slap the black off his ass, this guy turns around and says, I'm going to press charges. I'm going to tell. That's not right. You slapped me. You slapped me. I mean, what kind of coochie is this? This is your king? This is the guy you support? This is the guy you get behind? A coochie that wants to press charges? A guy who's talking about, oh, he slapped me. He slapped the black off your ass and you didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Anybody would have located their nuts. Okay, let me show you what a real man would do in this situation. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. So you remember when Canelo fought Caleb Plant for Undisputed, and these guys were at the press conference. Caleb Plant reached out Canelo. Canelo reached out right back. That's what somebody who's not afraid does. Canelo didn't go to press charges. He swung back. This is what men do. Men move their hands and feet. Men don't sit there and say, I'm tattling. Jamal Charlo is a black Karen. This man picked up the phone and said, hi, this is Karen Charlo. I'd like to report a crime against Caleb Plant. Like, are you Karen Charlo now? That's who you are? Karen Charlo? You're Karen Charlo. You picking up the phone. Oh, I'm Karen Charlo. still got all the fans in the world, has all these people fooled like he's some killer. Your favorite fighter is Karen Charlo? That's your favorite fighter, the guy who picked up a phone call? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Karen Charlo. This is disgusting. Space Predator says, salute to you, Space Predator. Oscar Sweet T. Valdez. Oh, man. My brother Boxing once said Errol Spence was drained from the suit he wore in the ring walk. My goodness. My brother, the red glove militant in the building. Salute to you, my brother, and much love. Hold on. Hold on. And that's the one thing. Canelo's going to give everybody equal treatment. Everybody. Everybody. I mean, let's just be honest. The boxing realm says Crawford fans won't talk about Crawford doing a catch weight. That's the thing. Is because if Canelo says, I can't move up 32 pounds to fight Badu Jack without a catch weight, I'm too small. Well, Terrence Crawford says, I can't move up to 168 to fight Canelo without a catch weight. I'm too small. So then why would you criticize Canelo and praise Bud? You see, in boxing, there is a double standard here. Everything Canelo does is wrong. Everybody Canelo fights is trash. This is how the boxing world views it. They don't keep the same energy. I heard somebody bragging about David Benavidez getting a decision over Caleb Plant. I'm like, you realize Canelo knocked this guy out and nobody gives him credit. They act like it was nothing. Like, I really can't believe some of these people. I really can't believe it. I really cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Oh, man. Hold on, Mr. T says, and then Jamal Charlo got pimp smacked in front of his ex-wife. I mean, think about it. You divorce your wife. You said it's over. I'm done. I don't want you no more. Then you get slapped like a coochie in front of her and don't do nothing. Yeah, this is Karen Charlo calling 911. I need to report a crime against Caleb Plant. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? My brother Isaac says, boxing realm. He wants Canelo at 160. Canelo will duck, they say. I'm convinced American fans will always want advantages. See, it's funny. People always want to call Canelo a duck, and if he does it, he's a bully. I mean, they can't get it right. Karen Charlo. That's his name, Karen Charlo. While they're twerking in the streets. I'm telling you, I'm going to see a lot of Demetrius Andre. I'm going to see a lot of Demetrius Andre fans. A lot of Demetrius Andre fans working in the street. I'm just telling you that. I'm going to see that. He better not lose. He better win the fight. Demetrius Andre ducked Janabek. He ducked Jermell Charlo. He ducked Sergey Deverenchenko. He ducked Idislandi Lauder. And you know what these Demetrius Andre fans will say? Oh, there was a problem with this fight. There was a problem with that fight. There was a problem with this fight. There was a problem with that fight. So these guys are going to find an excuse for all the fights that Demetrius Andre ducked. And then they can't give you a reason as to why, after 15 plus years, this man ain't fought one world champion. 15 plus years, no world champion, then ducked all these fights. And these guys are still swinging from his nuts. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Hold on, I got to read this. Cisco Kid, Karen Charlo, my brother Chris G, Jamal Hershey Squirt Charlo. Oh my goodness, not Hershey Squirt. My brother Carlos Rio says Andrade ducked Janabek, duck Parker to potentially be Canelo's Mando. Talking about he's the boogeyman. You speaking facts, bro. Thank you, my brother. I mean, that's all we're trying to say. That's all we're trying to say. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, my gosh. Demetrius Andre has one of the worst resumes in boxing, but people talk about this guy like he's a god. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Hold my purse, Charlo. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hold on. Exactly. I find this interesting. Benavidez goes the distance with Plant. He gets praised. Canelo knocks out Caleb Plant with a broken hand. And then they say, oh, it was just a nobody. It was just a nobody. You see how the energy change? You see how the energy change? That's what we talking about. IBFP, the only channel that keeps the same energy for everybody. But then they call me a fanboy. They call me a hater. They call me biased. I like everybody. Greatness don't have a color. I love Anui. I love Usyk. I love Canelo. I love Archer Better BF. I'm praising all these guys equally because these guys are putting in work. I love Bud Crawford. These guys are putting in work. They're not making excuses and they don't run around acting like a coochie. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Nuke, do you think it's fair to call Errol Spence a drunk? I don't know. I think that depends who you ask. They say he's not drinking anymore. They say he's not drinking anymore, but he did cause a massive car accident from being intoxicated. So to each his own. To each his own. To each his own. I got an interesting comment here. I don't know what this means. My brother Julio Martinez says, IBFP, bro, my girl is acting up. Can you bust her cheeks for me? Because I'm tired of her not keeping that same energy. Much love and respect, my guy. Much love and respect, Julio. I appreciate the love and support. And yeah, go ahead and send your old lady over here to the landlord. The only problem is if she on the plus side. I don't know. I'm not the fat bitch slayer. So we got to make sure she do a few squats, run a few laps in the landlord to get them cheeks. That's what we're going to do. My brother Chris Gallardo says, Big Charlo has Montiel problems. That's a damn shame. Karen Charlo. Tank Davis is a cherry picker. He definitely is. My brother Leonardo says, Jamal Charlo is from Louisiana. Mel is the only one that can rep Houston, Texas. That's it. I mean, look at it. Jamal Karen Charlo. That's his name. Anybody that get the black slapped off him and don't do nothing, he's a coochie. He's a coochie. He's a coochie. Salute to my brother, Anthony. Much love and respect, Anthony. You're a real one. You're a real one. Salute, my brother. I mean, look, we're going to keep the same energy for everybody. We're going to keep the same energy for everybody. My brother says, IBFP says fat bitches need love too. Because we're going to keep that same energy. Look, if I can use your panties as curtains, you're a little too big for me, baby. If I can use your dress as a tablecloth, you're a little too big for me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Look, we've seen Errol Spence fans start twerking. We've seen them. Errol Spence fans right now are twerking. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Errol Spence fans are twerking. Who else is twerking? Jamal Karen Charlo fans are twerking, and this man didn't even lose in the ring. He lost in the streets. You seen Stephen Fulton fans twerking in the street. All these guys twerking in the street. That's it. That's it. That's it. Absolutely. F the LDBC. F new media. I mean, come on, we know. Exactly. Hold on. This is good. Chris G says, Andrade has looked trash in every fight. Think about it. Andrade fought Vanes Monterosian, a guy who Triple G blew out. Nobody gives Triple G any credit for beating Vanes Monterosian, mind you. But then they overpraised Andrade for it, and Andrade got dropped against Vanes Monterosian. Then Andrade's last fight against a nobody. What happened? Andrade gets dropped in the first 2 rounds. If this was anybody else, they would say, oh, this guy's washed. He's fading. He's trash. And then he goes the distance with the nobody. Canelo goes the distance with John Ryder, drops him twice, breaks his nose, and they say he's washed. Look how the energy's never the same. Look how the energy's always off. Look how these guys are always on something. Oh, man, he went in on you. Hold on, Julio, he went in on you. He says, Julio, Adam 22 Martinez. Oh, no, don't do it. Oh. My brother says fat snitches need love, but Keith Thurman needs a relevant career. You know it. Prime Time 89 says, I just hope Demetrius Andrade doesn't pull out or strain his cat during camp. That's my only fear for Demetrius Andrade. He's pulled out so many times. I'm a little afraid he's going to pull out at his Benavidez fight. I'm just hoping he comes through and the fight happens and he doesn't duck or dodge or run from the fight. This actually happened. That's my hope. Oh, man. The excuses these biased channels make for an American fighter when they lose is out of this world. I mean, it's always an excuse. It's always an excuse. It's always, this guy wasn't that. That guy wasn't this. Come on, man. Come on. My brother said, I bet 5K Andrade ain't fighting Benavidez. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Alonso Amazing says, Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence are flat-footed. But when a PBC fighter is flat-footed, they don't use being flat-footed as a negative trait. They don't even call Errol Spence flat-footed. They say Errol Spence is a slick black fighter. Then when he loses to Terrence Crawford, oh, he was never slick. You remember when they was talking about, oh, Errol Spence, he could go up in weight and beat Canelo. Yeah, channel said Canelo ducked Errol Spence. You remember that? Now you know that if Errol Spence would have moved up, fought Canelo, this man would have been sent to hell in the first 2 rounds. If Bud Crawford do you that bad, what do you think Canelo's going to do? What do you think? It wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close. Stop it. These guys got to stop it. Andrade's pull-out game is world-class. That's the same thing his girls say. His pull-out game is ridiculous. I mean, this man pull out left and right. Come on. My brother JP says Andrade has horrible footwork. He has horrible footwork. He throws unorthodox shots that really come off terribly timed and planted. But people say that he's just awkward and elite. And I'm like, that's not even the case. They give these guys more credit than they deserve because they're black fighters, because they're fighters that align with the narrative. At the end of the day, we got to be honest and unbiased. These guys do not want to be real about what's going on. They don't want to be real. They want to be real. Hold on, my brother, the Boxing Realm says, once Benavidez whoops Andrade, they will consider Benavidez the destroyer of slick black fighters. Will they say that? Or the only thing they're going to say is, Canelo ducking, Canelo ducking, Canelo running, Canelo running. Oh. Now, you know how these guys are, man. You know how these guys are. Andrade is the face of nose piercings. Oh, no. My brother says Jermell Charlo is about to get a mere con by Canelo. See, I didn't see how many predictions I've seen. Canelo's going to get exposed by Jermell Charlo. Canelo's going to get embarrassed by Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo's going to put the foot on Canelo's neck. We shall see. We shall see. Because when Canelo sends this man to hell, I don't want to hear no hating. I don't want to hear no twerking in the streets. I don't want to hear he wasn't ready, because they always overlook Canelo. They always spit on Canelo. They always say that he's trash, he's garbage, he's overrated. But when Canelo puts his foot in Jermell Charlo's ass, I want all of these guys to keep that same energy.